The man helped the mother bear and her cubs cross the road, and then something happened. This police officer helped a mother bear and her cubs cross a busy road. However, when the man took a closer look at the cubs, he saw something shocking. One day, the police department of a small town in New Hampshire received a call from a concerned citizen. A man reported a mother bear trying unsuccessfully to cross the highway with her cubs. But due to the fast-moving cars, the animal could not do this. Plus, something was really bothering her. The dispatcher reported the situation to Patrolman John, who was currently closest to the scene. The policeman quickly reached the desired section of the road where he got out of the car and saw the same bear with her cubs, who obviously tried to cross the highway, but for some unknown reason couldn't do so. 3 cubs were next to their mother, and the 4th, who looked smaller and weaker than all of them, sat doomedly in the bushes on the opposite side of the road. To understand the situation and help the animals, John blocked the highway with his patrol car so that passing drivers would not accidentally run over the small predators. Soon, a whole column of cars lined up on the road, the drivers of which looked with curiosity at how the policeman was trying to help the bear family. John understood that getting close to the huge predator was too dangerous, so he watched from a short distance. Soon, the man realized that 3 cubs were following their mother, and the smallest and weakest 4th cub was sitting in the grass, unable to take a single step further. The bear could not help him and only rushed between 3 cubs on one side of the road and the 4th baby on the other side, who just sat and looked sadly at his mother. Eyewitnesses of the incident were worried about the family of bears, and the bear, it seems, began to understand that she could no longer help the weakest of the cubs. Finally, the bear nuzzled the little bear with tenderness, as if inviting him to follow her, and then returned to the 3 healthy cubs. A few minutes later, 4 bears disappeared into the forest, and the weakest bear cub continued to sit and helplessly look after them. Seeing this heartbreaking picture, John realized that he couldn't stay away. Despite the fact that the bear could return at any moment, the policeman approached the weak cub, picked him up, and carried him to the patrol car. And the baby didn't even think of resisting. The policeman carefully placed the bear cub on the passenger seat and without delay headed into the city, realizing that the weakened animal needed urgent help and now every minute counted. Having reached the veterinary clinic, John handed the bear cub into the hands of wildlife conservation specialists. After examining the cub, the veterinarians informed the patrolman that they could cure the baby and his health was not in danger. With a calm heart, John returned home, and his soul was warmed by the thought that he was able to save the life of a small animal and managed to hand it over to the caring hands of environmentalists in time. But the story didn't end there. The next day, foresters found another weakened, helpless bear cub in the thicket. Later, it turned out that the bear gave birth to 5 cubs, and 2 of them turned out to be very weak. John saved one of them, and the second remained in the forest and was soon found by foresters in very poor condition. Mother bears usually give birth to no more than 3 cubs at a time. Most likely, this time 2 of them turned out to be completely weak due to the fact that it was very difficult for the animal to bear 5 babies. By coincidence, John was again first on the scene. The policeman quickly found a clearing indicated by the forest where a small, lonely, and completely weakened bear cub was indeed located, and the mother bear was not nearby. Soon, wildlife conservation specialists arrived at the scene and were ready to take care of the defenseless baby. Having provided first aid to the cub, environmentalists took the animal to a rehabilitation center where his little brother was already there, who was gradually gaining strength. Fortunately, everything ended well for the abandoned cubs. The bear is a very intelligent animal and is often considered similar to humans in temperament and state of mind. The strength of the bear has, through history, aroused jealousy, respect, and fear from mankind. John's brave actions saved the cubs' lives, and environmentalists made sure that the animals grew up and became stronger under constant supervision, after which they were released into the wild, where the growing bears were to begin their adult, independent lives. Problem bears, that is, bears that have lost their natural shyness for humans, are often a creation by the humans and a consequence of their behavior around their houses and farms. Much of the problems are caused by the handling of butchering waste, as well as the handling of refusals, and of animals that died of natural causes around the houses and farms. A polar bear has no fear of humans, is up to 1,500 pounds in weight, is up to 11 feet when standing on its back legs, and will kill anything which moves that it comes across on the Arctic tundra. I'd be terrified if I came one-on-one with a polar bear, or come to that a grizzly bear. In comparison, while humans are relatively strong for our size, we are not as inherently powerful as bears. Bears have a much greater muscle mass and strength compared to humans, even if they were the same size. So if a bear and a human were the same size, the bear would likely still be stronger.